Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Healthy, Happy, Hooray. My name is Regina, and if you've not been here before, I am on a weight loss journey to lose 100 pounds. I need to do that because, as you can see, I'm in a wheelchair and I need to have much needed knee surgery in order to walk. So in order to get that, I need to lose this 100 pounds. If you're interested in following me along my journey, I post twice a week, and I do post recipes that I use that help me to eat a healthier lifestyle and avoid boredom in my case. I have lost 21 pounds, so if you're interested in following me, I'd really appreciate it. Please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that little bell icon. Thanks so much, and we're gonna go ahead and get into the video. This is about my weigh-in this week, what happened, and it's also part 2 of my story. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Regina here. First of all, I want to apologize for the editing style of my video last week. I was really tired and I thought I had it correct, but obviously it cut off, and I apologize for that. Last week my weight 18.6, and so I had lost a total of almost 22 pounds. Unfortunately, this week I gained some of it back. My weight was 321.6, so I gained back 3 pounds. It's frustrating, but I have not had a great food week. I had a little bit of a binge one day or 2 days, and I think that's what threw me off. So this week I'm going to try to get back on track. I've already had 2 pretty good days, so hopefully that'll all go well. Anyway, to get into what we were doing last week, this is part 2 of my story, and I want to go ahead and start, where we left off, and that really is, it was 2017. I had met my now husband online, and he was from Morocco, and I planned to go visit there. Before I met him, I was going to the gym. My knees are bad, but they weren't as bad as they are now. I could use a cane, and I could go back and forth. I think my weight was always around 330, 340. It just likes to stay there. I was eating pretty good, but like I do now, I'm kind of, it was good for a while, and then sometimes I would veer off. So I wasn't being completely disciplined on track. So we met, and, when we met, we decided that we would meet up and see. We talked for the first 2 months. We talked every day for like 3 or 4 hours online, and I wanted to really meet him, so we decided we would meet in Morocco. And so I went in October of 2017, and it was great. I was there for 4 weeks, and I met his family. We got engaged. We saw all of pretty much the south side of Morocco, south part of Morocco. We saw Marrakech. Deer, and we had a great time. Then I came home and I started working for a tax company, and I couldn't go back until the following year, 2018, in May. So we decided in May of 2018, actually in April of 2018, we would get married. So I went back in 2018 and we got married. 6 weeks, and it was amazing. Again, we spent some time in most of the time we spent actually was in Taza, which is where my husband is from, and spent a lot of time with his sisters, brothers, family. We had a wonderful, wonderful time. Then we went to Casablanca, that's where the airport is, and spent time with his uncles and aunts, and really just had a wonderful time. So I came back, and we decided after that 6 weeks, we weren't sure if we were going to live in Morocco or in the United States. We decided that the United States had better opportunities and better, just basically better opportunities for us. And it was kind of more my choice because I really wanted to be here with my family. And so my husband decided he would come here. So we filed for the the CR1 visa. But unfortunately, I couldn't do it till March of 2019. It was a lot of work to put it together, and financially it was expensive as well. So we filed in March of 2019. At that time, I was working for a tax agency in this little town of mine called Ankeny. It's actually not little anymore. It's grown quite a bit. It's 75,000 people. But at the time, I was working there, and I wasn't really paying attention at all to my diet, and I didn't really lose weight or gain weight. I was kind of surprised by that. I think I was just so busy that I didn't pay attention to food. I just ate whatever I wanted, but I didn't go overboard. I just ate, but probably if I would have made better choices, I would have lost weight during that time. So 2019 of April came around, May, I spoke with my now husband, and I asked him, this is probably going to take a year. And he said, well, why don't you come here and live with me in Morocco? So we decided that I would go there and, wait out the visa with him in Morocco. And so I went, actually not in May, but in October of that year, because I wanted to save up some money and just have, just to tie up some loose ends. I wasn't sure how long I was going to be living there. So I just wanted to make sure I had everything taken care of before I moved to Morocco. So I moved to Morocco in October of 2019. Was working part-time in Agadir, and we were living there. I noticed that the food was really good, but we really ate a lot, really had the portions everywhere. The restaurants, going to people's houses, were a lot smaller, and the food was really, really fresh, straight from the farm. The meat was really fresh, etc. So from October of 2019 to January of 2020, my weight went from 340 to 300. According to the scale there, I could feel the difference. And I wasn't even trying. It was just, we were eating croissants in the morning. We had, fresh juice. We had eggs. We ate a pretty big breakfast, not much of a lunch, and then we would come back around 5 o'clock and make a dinner of some sort. And the Moroccan cuisine is really, really healthy and really good. So we made a lot of tagines, which is like a beef kind of stew or a chicken stew. Mixed with vegetables, and then couscous, which always has 7 different vegetables in it. And basically we were eating like that for 4 months. So we were doing really good, and February came around, and then March 2020 was when the pandemic hit. And in Morocco, they didn't play around. Only one person from your household, we lived in an apartment complex, and you had to have a note from the guard at the complex of who was going to be coming and going to get food. And you're only allowed to be out for 2 hours at the most. And so my husband, because I'm in a wheelchair, he decided to do it. And so I ended up staying in the house from March of 2020 until I think it was end of May. Basically, I didn't leave the house at all. And so, it was a little depressing, and I think a lot of people went through this. I started eating for boredom again. Had my husband get me like little things of chips, chocolate, and whatever. And I gained like 5 pounds. wasn't outrageous. So then, after the pandemic hit, we decided that we had heard from the visa that part of it had been approved, but we had to do the next step. And our apartment was on the 3rd floor, and it was really hard for my knees, so we weren't sure how long we were going to be in Morocco. So we moved to another apartment. It was on the 1st floor. It was really great. And again, we were eating really healthy. Basically, my weight stayed the same. So we were there, I guess we went to that apartment in September of 2020. And by January of 2021, January 2021, our visa got approved. And so my husband went to interview in Casablanca. And at first they weren't decided on whether or not we were approved or not. So they actually wanted to meet with me, and that time was a little stressful. So because of that, I think I ate more than I should have. But again, the food was so good there. I guess this is my point. The food was so healthy and organic and non-GMOs, non-chemical, that even if I overate there, I just didn't seem to really gain weight like I do here in the United States. Anyway, finally at the end of April of 2021, his visa was approved, and we were packing our bags and getting ready to come back to the United States. So we did that. May 21st, 2021, we came back to the US. And we've been here ever since. I was very homesick the last, I'd say, 6 months in Morocco. Especially, I was actually homesick during the pandemic. It was hard to be in a place where you didn't understand the language or the culture was different. It was wonderful, and don't get me wrong, Morocco is like a second home to me, and I love it. One day we'll probably go back there. I don't know for good, but we'll definitely go back to either visit or maybe even to live. We'll see. But at this point, I'm a little bit more aware of how Moroccan culture is and what things I need to do to make me happier in the Moroccan world. Anyway, the point is that I think when your food is whole and healthy, there was no such thing as skim milk there. There was no low-fat cheese. People ate croissants and pastries, and everybody there was pretty much in good shape. So I really think it's portion control, and I really do believe that when the quality of food is good, it doesn't, I think Americans get in this rut of thinking, you know what, we need to eat low-fat everything, and we need to eat, then we can eat more of it. If we eat low-fat cheese, or we eat low-fat milk, or we do this, then we can eat more of it. But the truth of the matter is that I don't really think it matters per se. I think it's, like I said, the quantity, and just pairing your meals with like fresh salads and a vegetable of some sort and a fruit. We really did eat really well there, and my husband's very healthy, so he would always make sure that we were eating healthy, yogurts and fruits and whatnot, as well as chocolate a little bit, and sometimes some cakes. But in general, we ate pretty good. And when I got back to the US in May of 2021, I was super homesick, like I was saying, and I missed McDonald's and I missed fast food, and I was like, my brain was just like on overload. So I really went a little crazy, and I ate everything in sight. It was embarrassing. I think I was where I'm at now was maybe 315 when I got back to the US. And when I finally started to get serious about this, which was in April of this year, I was 340, so I had gained back a lot of weight. And that brings me to another point. I have been diabetic for the last few years, and this yo-yo dieting, when I came back, when I was in Morocco, I had my blood tested and my blood was at 7.3 or something like that. And it was going down every time. The minute I came back to the United States and started eating bad, it went up, went up. It was at one point almost like 9 or 10. It was so bad. And my doctor was really worried, so she put me on Ozempic, and that's like basically, it helps you to not eat as much, but also it like regulates your blood sugar better and such. So she put me on that. And the first visit, January, I think I've had 3 visits. The third visit, which was in January, my numbers were still going up, and I said, this has got to stop. So that's when I decided to do this lovely YouTube channel. And it has helped me quite a bit. However, I see myself sliding sometimes, and I've kind of made some resolutions with myself. I mean, this is part 2 of my life, right? This is part 2 of this video. And as far as eating the whole foods and whatnot, I'm with that. I don't even believe like pasta's bad for you or whole white rice or any of that. My weakness probably would be salty food like chips and things like that. And I just don't think that's something that I can control. So I'm not giving it up forever, but it's not something I'm going to keep in my house. Another thing I don't like keeping around is like, I would say like chocolate bars. Those to me are just dangerous for me. It's just probably not a good idea for me to have them. Another thing that I forgot to mention, since we're talking about all this, I also have a bladder condition. It's called interstitial cystitis, and it's basically sorry, I just have to tell you this. My bladder wall is like inflamed, and so whenever I eat something spicy or acidy or with caffeine in it, it's going to make it worse. And if I don't keep track of it, it can get really out of control, and it's been doing that the last month. Just really like, I think I've just been drinking too much coffee and eating too many spicy foods. So I decided I would make a change with that as well, slowly, because it's going to be hard for me to change everything. I can't really drink coffee anymore. I can't, like I said, eat the foods that I used to love, which are spicy foods. So I'm going to figure out a way to maybe incorporate just a little bit or none at all. I don't know, I'm going to play around with it and see how my body reacts to it. I'm actually taking some products right now from a company called Eucora, and it's supposed to help with herbs, like build up your the alkalinity in your urine, and then also help with that bladder wall situation. So hopefully that's going to help. I've had feeling a tiny bit better. I have been drinking a lot more water, and so hopefully I can really get healthy for real this time. And I know it's going to be a slow process. I've only lost 21 pounds since April. I think if I were to focus more and lay off the sugar and the salts, I could get there. And also try to get to the gym more often. I haven't really been doing that as well, and I really need to get back on track with that. So again, those are goals. I haven't done them yet. But this week I'm proud of myself because I have been drinking more water, and basically have cut out all sugar and chocolate and whatnot that's hurting my bladder, so I can sleep better. So that's basically it. I appreciate you guys coming by tonight and listening to the second half of my story. I hope that I hope this helps somebody. Basically, if I could eat organic and whole cheese, whole milk, butter, all of it's okay in moderation. And that's how I live my life. And so I don't always, I know the big trend now is doing chickpea pasta, and I like it. I've tried it, it's pretty good, but I'd rather just enjoy something than I'd rather just eat the real thing and eat less of it, and then just fill myself up with a salad with it, or like I said, a vegetable with that. So those are my goals. Again, thanks for coming, and have a great night, everybody. Take care. Bye.